when Diana, Princess of Wales, and Prince Charles, now King Charles III, announced their engagement on February 24, 1981, it marked the beginning of the 19-year-old bride-to-be's days as a fashion icon. The newly engaged couple posed for photographs outside Buckingham Palace before conducting an infamous interview about their relationship and upcoming nuptials. Diana's outfit, a cobalt blue skirt suit, was her own decision, one she had made last minute during an evening trip to Harrods. However, according to a royal author, the bright ensemble was not Lady Diana's first choice. In fact, the royal fiancé had visited another store earlier that night in hopes of finding the perfect engagement outfit but was turned away by a shop assistant who didn't recognize the future Princess of Wales. Claudia Joseph, author of Diana, A Life in Dresses, discussed the princess's iconic style during last week's episode of the Royally Us podcast. Hosts Christine Ross and Christina Garibaldi asked the author about Diana's Pretty Woman moment, referring to the Friday evening in February 1981 when the princess-to-be went out looking for a special outfit. Ms. Joseph said, her mother knew the designer David Sassoon who worked for Belleville too, so she went in by herself one Friday evening and the shop assistant didn't recognize her. Diana didn't know what she wanted. And I think the assistant became a bit impatient with her and basically said, "Why don't you go to Harrods, dear, you'll find what you're looking for there." Princess Diana's iconic life in pictures, key ways the People's Princess changed the world. Princess Diana died 25 years ago in a tragic car crash, aged just 36. In such a short amount of time, the late Princess of Wales transformed the world and the royal family irreversibly. Take a look at the most iconic photos of her life here. She continued, and then of course, the next day, David and Belinda, Belleville, were in the shop and another shop assistant said, "I think Princess Diana came in yesterday," and they were like, "What do you mean? She came in and we didn't design anything for her?" David told the Daily Mail in 2017, "We nearly had a fit." Ms. Joseph said, and then she, Diana, wore an off-the-peg suit from Guyana for her engagement photo, that blue suit, which obviously everybody remembers, but it wasn't necessarily the most elegant of outfits. And Ms. Garibaldi exclaimed, "Big mistake, huge," referencing the 1990 film Pretty Woman, which sees Vivian, a prostitute, played by Sandra Bullock, return to the store she was denied by the day before. On entering the shop again and addressing its staff, she delivers the famous line, "You work on commission, right? Big mistake. Big. Huge. I have to go shopping now." Diana wore a white blouse with a bow tie-style neckline underneath the now famous power suit, accompanied by simple shoes and a clutch. When David found out what happened, he personally appealed to Diana with an invitation to return to and shop. With persuasion from her mother, Frances Shand Kidd, Diana went back to Belleville Sassoon. David said, "From then on, whenever Diana appeared, we kept the vendors, saleswoman, out of the way." In her first official photograph with Queen Elizabeth II, Diana chose a sailor suit from the studio's ready-to-wear collection. David went on to become one of the princess's most important fashion partners, and has even been lauded as the designer who helped her to become a fashion icon. In the early 90s, Diana told her biographer, Andrew Morton, that before marrying into the royal family, she wasn't as fashion-conscious, explaining her wardrobe had one long dress, one silk shirt, one smart pair of shoes, and that was it. He continued, "Suddenly my mother and I had to go out and buy 6 of everything." We bought as much as we thought we needed, but we still didn't have enough." The princess's loyalty to David was absolute. He designed more than 70 dresses for her over nearly 2 decades. He said, "She was a joy to dress. She could wear any color and look wonderful." Some of the royal ladies could be difficult, but Diana would always send little thank you notes or twirl around saying, "They are going to love this." She really was a delight. Aside from Diana, David designed clothes for Princess Margaret, Princess Michael of Kent, Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, and Birgitta, Duchess of Gloucester. The designer has previously claimed he is probably the only designer around today who has dressed every female member of the royal family except the Queen. Having retired in 2012, David masterminded a retrospective of his work at the Fashion and Textile Museum in London's Bermondsey. He knew from a conversation with the princess just weeks before her death that she still had a particularly memorable outfit he had made for her. David saw Diana at the preview of a charity auction of her clothes at Christie's in June 1997. The pair chatted about some of the outfits he had designed for her, including the going-away outfit she wore on her wedding day. The designer asked her if it was in the auction, to which she replied, "Oh no, I'm not losing that." When David was putting together the exhibition, he asked to borrow the outfit, but no one knew where it was. Buckingham Palace provided an aubergine satin evening dress, and when he went to collect it, and a courtier said there was a pink suit he could also have if he wanted. The designer recalled, "As soon as I saw it, I said, 'Oh my gosh, that's it.' It was in perfect condition," and he recalled, "The organdy collar had been turned inside and a long-sleeved jacket we'd made in case of cold weather was draped over the top." Now aged 90, David still owns the Belleville Sassoon Salon in Chelsea, London. However, in recent years, he has increasingly handed the responsibility to Irish designer Lorcan Mullaney.